All right, Daniel, let's get into this actual pre-show stuff.
Okay.
I know you wanted to talk about Sigma Rice,
Mhm.
but in the interest of destroying everything that you had planned for this show and pushing everything to the next show,
Honestly, I was thinking about this. I don't even know why I bother putting stuff on the notes, because every time I put topics on the notes, you either get rid of them or you're just totally uninterested in talking about them. And so it just like I don't even know why I try.
it's good because we eventually get to it, and I do think we should talk about the Sigma Rice thing. We could talk about it today if you want.
No.
But I kept your freaking mobile camera
Mhm.
rig topic
Yeah,
in
that's
here.
just because you didn't have time to come up with something else for that part.
No.
All right. What
Okay.
are we
Are
talking
you familiar with the statistics that have came out recently in regards to Tesla full automated driving crash statistics?
I've seen discussions on that periodically, but I don't think I've seen whatever recent thing you're referring to.
So there's been all this hubbub in regards to Waymo's crash ratings versus Tesla's crash ratings, and how Waymo's rating is like, I don't know, 1 in 200,000 or 1 in 100,000. I can't remember the number. It was some number, but it was better than Tesla's. And they're like, it's actually better than humans, and it's really, really good. And then everyone was like dunking on Tesla because they're like, well, theirs was 1 in 50,000, and that's like worse than humans, and it's terrible. And I was thinking about it, and since 2017, 2017, I have gotten in 4 wrecks.
Yeah, you're not a very good driver.
Wow. None of which were my fault, to be clear.
Important detail.
None of which were my fault. But I've been in 4 wrecks, and I drive like, 15 to 20,000 miles a year. So say 15,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
And that's 17, 18, 19. Well, it's half of 17. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26. 9 years, right? Give or take.
Okay.
Maybe call it 10 years. So that's 150,000 miles if I say 10 years. And that's 4 wrecks. So I divide that by 4. That's 1 in 37,500. I'm worse than Tesla Autopilot at driving.
Can't disagree with that.
So, anyways, I just wanted to put that in context.
Yeah.
All the people are like, oh man, Tesla's worse than humans. Not all the humans, apparently. I'm not that bad of a driver, Daniel. None of them were my fault.
Yeah, everybody says that.
I don't know. I was thinking about it. And I thought that maybe Tesla was getting a bad rap from a certain perspective.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way.
I felt personally attacked.
Welcome back to the Camera Gear Podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Lucas.
And we're here today to talk about the gear, software, and techniques we use to shoot photos and video.
Ran for the first time since the marathon yesterday.
Ooh,
How'd
that go?
I went fine. I ran like 5K, but I haven't been drinking as much water because I basically stopped working out so that I could just focus on other things for like 2 minutes. And I think I'm just underhydrated all the time.
Yeah, probably so. I think getting water is important, no matter whether you're running or not.
I think it's more of like, I don't think I'm like necessarily dehydrated, but I'm drinking enough less water that I feel like I'm not flushing my system out like I was. Like the amount of just
Got too many toxins in there.
the amount of water removal from just total volume of sweat produced weekly.
Yeah.
I was just moving water, just so much water through my body, just flushing things out. And
I've heard people say that about sweating. That I don't know if it's true or not. But they say it's good to move water through your system like that.
I don't know. It's just like volume of water in versus volume of water out has gone down by, I don't know, like probably 10 gallons a week.
Yep, that's a lot.
And I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, I've gotten a few comments. We got one comment of somebody because we talked a lot about color grading and blah blah blah,
and photo workflows.
Sure, all that stuff. And someone was like, "Have you guys tried Color.io? Like, it's pretty stinking cool." And then, like, I looked into it, and then I forgot to bring it back up on the podcast. And then I saw another comment like recently, like January timeframe, and someone followed up and was like, "Hey, did you guys ever try out that Color.io?" And I wanted to clarify.
The people want to know.
They want to know. I want to clarify that no, I didn't because
After all that buildup, you still haven't tried it.
because the whole product was deprecated December 2025. And
That's
so
why you didn't
I was
look
like,
into it.
I was going to look into it in December, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, this whole thing is going away in 3 weeks. I'm not going to waste my time.
Interesting.
So like, it doesn't exist anymore. It's not my fault.
That's a bummer.
It
I
is
wonder
a
why
bummer.
it got deprecated.
I do and am very interested, want to try some sort of AI related video color solution.
Oh,
I think it would
What do
be.
you think that would be? Like,
I mean,
how would that work?
I'm sure it could reveal itself in many different facets, but I mostly would like to be able to take footage input and give sample, either describe or provide sample images. Here's the look I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all of my stuff. Do the thing.
Make a LUT, give you some settings, something like that.
LUT would be perfect. Yeah, sure. Like, here's the hero image is at frame 346 or whatever. Or pick a hero frame and develop me a LUT for each of these footage, each of these clips, or like give me a setting export or something.
That'd be pretty cool if it was possible.
Yeah, it would be really cool, especially if it was like, I mean, if something like that was built in Resolve, that would be the best version. But even if it was some other tool and you could, like have the grading tools to tweak it after and maybe like fine tune it. I don't know. I would be pretty interested.
I'm so curious to see what they're going to announce for Resolve at NAB this year, because it feels like there's so much low hanging fruit for AI stuff. Like what you mentioned feels right up their alley of something they would do. And I still want to see like a video co-pilot type thing, to where I could just tell it to do whatever type of editing, and have it go and do that. Like, that would make the software so much more approachable for people.
Something that's on the order of like Claude Code.
Yeah.
It seems like those kind of things where you're like, you know how to do it, and you're like, okay, AI, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then it does the thing, and then because you know what it's supposed to look like, you can easily like review, confirm, and then request updates.
Exactly.
And really like shorten that workful.
Yeah. I mean, it feels so much like it should be possible for video to say, go through all my source material. That, this is an interview that was shot from 3 angles. This is here's a cut of kind of what I want the storyline to be. Go do it and have it just make that and switch between your angles where appropriate.
Should
put
totally
in B-roll where appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it should be able to do that, and then you could just watch it and say, swap out this clip, swap out that clip, cut out this section, and then just have it do those things.
It should totally be able to do that, and that would make editing a lot smoother.
Yeah, you could say find music and have it just find something. Like,
Sure, it'd be
I don't see
great.
why not.
The color thing would be nice in Resolve versus a second tool, and that like if it did the thing, I could just go to that one. Like if it did it, created the nodes, labeled the nodes, I could then go to those nodes
You
and
have
just
the source code basically to edit it.
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, here I tweak the contrast here. I'm going to change the pivot for that one spot. Do color boost down here. Like whatever. Make color matching. It would be making just even just to match clips. Like no one likes matching clips. Like doing cool grades and like the creative aspect. That's what we all want to do.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
let me do that. Sure, whatever. But if I can just make it match clips to starting point.
That even kind of fits into something else I was thinking about, where every time we start a project, we have these same steps we have to follow, and it's really easy to forget one of them. Like sometimes you create a project and you forget to add the path mappings, and then I open it up and I have to relink, and you have to relink.
Some might say that not even sometimes, but 100% of the time.
And it kind of made me think it would be so cool if there was if you could have a preset for a project, and say like we basically execute the same kind of project over and over. And I know other people have to have the same, same kind of thing where it's like, I work for a company and I need to crank out the same type of video every week.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if there was some, way to like templatize that and just have it all, which maybe there is, maybe we should look into it. But the other thing would be if there was some like AI thing where you could say, here's a folder where I've put all of my assets.
Sure.
Just make a project and set everything up and, do things like match the clips and all that, and then it could just do all that and set it up for you.
Well, Final Cut's kind of built like that, where you have libraries and you could have your one project hype as a library, and then you just have your different everything within it, and so you're always just opening
Sure.
that single library.
Yeah.
But the problem with Final Cut is like the way that it manages clips and stuff. It's if you decided to have 50 projects in one library, you would have to have like a 300 terabyte hard drive just to do anything with it.
Well, what you're describing, I actually did back when we were doing kind of like a weekly social media video. I just had one project, and I would just add new stuff to it every time, and it worked fine. And in Resolve, to be clear, and that worked fine. But it gets a little hard to work with. Like if you have too many files, kind of you get confused between them, and wait, are these the old ones or the new ones? And it seems like it'd be a little bit better to have it separate.
Has the whole media tab, but honestly, like its media management, I don't think is necessarily class leading.
Yeah. No, we'll see. I'm just really curious to see what they'll do in April.
Yep, same. Okay, Daniel, that wasn't what we're talking about here. I know. Color.io. Okay, you wanted to give an update on this tour box situation?
Yep.
Has it really been 10 months?
It's been 10 months since I got that thing.
So this is like your 10-month warranty walk.
Yeah, I guess so. So we talked about that in a past episode. I don't remember which episode right now, but I'll put that in the show notes. And yeah, it's that little controller thing that I use to edit photos. Just thought it'd be interesting to give an update on it after all this time. Because I didn't know when I got it if the, if it was like a honeymoon period type thing where it's like, oh, this is super cool. And then I just never use it. Turns out, use it all the time. Whenever I have to edit photos without it, it's like I would rather just not edit photos right then. Like if I'm in a situation where I could edit photos and I don't have it with me, I was like, maybe I can just do this later. So it really does save a lot of time. I mean, it's definitely best if you kind of do the same sorts of edits, frequently, because you can just put all those on the thing. But it works.
How
super
hard
well.
has it been to develop muscle memory around those buttons?
Oh, super easy. Like I don't even think about it. It was really easy to learn, and I can go a month without using it and then pick it up and just remember what to do.
Very cool.
So
very cool.
It's been great. I get asked about it pretty often because a lot of times I'll go to a coffee shop and do editing, and that's one of my favorite uses of it because I can be sitting there drinking my coffee and doing all of my editing. It's I don't have to have both hands to do the editing.
You don't even stop editing.
Exactly. Just never stop editing. And I not every time, but multiple times I have had somebody come up to me and ask what it is and, like want to know what I'm doing and stuff.
You should get a shirt that says, "Ask me about my tour box."
I should start handing out the affiliate link, right? Get some kickback from it. So yeah, pretty cool. I need to set it up for Resolve. I don't know if that would be useful or not. Like when I've thought about using it for video editing, it feels like, I don't know if it would really save me that much time, but
you might as well give it a go. There's things like that you do all the time. I mean, I always have, left hand on the keyboard kind of thing where, you're doing like blade tool or switching between trim, like T and A, if am I going to trim or am I going to slide and delete versus backspace on like getting rid of, making clips like squish back together or not whenever you delete things. Like there's things like that you use all the time. Plus, making the timeline wider and then making it taller as far as zoom.
That's true. It could be useful just for like those navigational type
or even
things.
Zoom to fit. I use that all the time too.
Yeah, there's probably enough to make it worth doing. I know there's a preset for it, so we just need to play with that some. But for photo editing though, it's great. Being
able to select whether the playhead selects everything or nothing on, does it change selection as it goes by.
Right. Yeah.
Could be really handy.
I still feel like I don't use all of Resolve's features for things like that. Need to work on that.
I'm just all over it.
Yep.
So what was this other note that you put in here? I can't really read that. Would you read that to me?
Yeah, no, I think you added that. I don't think I added that.
I have no recollection of putting that in there.
This one that says Lucas is faster on an iPad, 100%. I don't think so.
That says 100%, no doubt, no scope, 360 OMG. I definitely wouldn't have written that.
Yeah, never.
Yeah. Daniel, let's talk about CP Plus 2026.
Yeah, we should.
This is maybe some of the more interesting things. This isn't everything. And I would like to reserve the right to return to discussing any or all of these items at a later date in their own dedicated shows.
Kind of a quick hit on some of these things.
Because we only got so much time here.
And there is some pretty interesting stuff in this list.
Yep. So obviously, we have to start with this Canon concept camera.
Yeah, somehow I missed when this was actually announced and then just happened upon it like yesterday or something. It's like, what? What is going on?
Okay,
here?
so this is a concept that Canon put together. They had a 3D printed version that was functional, where you could come up and, hold it, actuate it, take a picture. It had an HDMI connection to a screen so everyone could see what you were doing, and it totally worked.
Some important information about this. It's about the size of a grapefruit and isn't designed to be pocketable.
Great.
I just felt like that was important to add.
Sure. They had 2 prototypes that were in a plexiglass case, and those you could not touch. And they were 2 different variations that they're considering in what this thing could potentially look like and how it could be used.
So, I mean, that makes it seem like even though this is a prototype, they're kind of serious about it. I mean, like if they've got like multiple things and, a version you can play with, maybe it'll be a real camera.
And they wanted people who were there to try the thing and then give their input on the prototypes to see which direction they should continue development in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could have been one of those Canon wants to have something at the show, so everyone's talking about Canon. But also, like, they had a working prototype. So
it's quite a bit of work for a marketing thing. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, the prototype thing that they had is a 1-inch sensor, which they said this prototype is a 1-inch sensor. Who knows what it's going to be? Like maybe it's APS-C, maybe it's full frame, maybe it's nothing, maybe it's medium format. But the concept here, and the one that they had that they were showing people was like some fixed prime lens, and it has the light goes in and it has a mirror, and the mirror then projects the light up on a 45-degree plane, so it's straight up. And there's a plastic screen to diffuse the light into an image, not like a digital screen, just an optical screen,
like a viewfinder of sorts.
Sure, and then you look through the viewfinder down onto the screen, think of what is it? The Hasselblad.
I mean, yeah, it's basically like one of those medium format cameras that you hold at waist level.
Yeah, exactly. The C100, whatever, where you hold it at waist level, you look down into it, and you see the image, and then whenever you actuate the shutter, it slaps that mirror, as one would expect, or the screen up, and then the light does a second bounce into a sensor.
Into the sensor, yeah.
Into an image sensor. And then this thing also has a digital screen on the back that you could flip up so you can use it digitally as well.
Like if you don't want the mirror to slap.
Yeah, and so that's kind of like the concept of, do we do this, with a tilting out type LCD and then do it digitally? What size sensor do we want? Do we do this what does this look like optically? But this had to be the most popular thing.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's a super weird thing to see at a show like this.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's one, Canon's never made this style camera.
Yeah.
But until now, right? Here's a retro-inspired camera for something that Canon has never made, but
it's a pretty rough-looking prototype too. This is not close to release, and it's a little surprising to see a company like Canon showing off like a product at that level of completion. Like I like it. I think it's cool. It's unusual.
I'm encouraged that Canon is doing some stuff like this. Some of the things that came out with CP Plus that maybe we'll eventually talk about is Canon reminded everybody that they've been the #1 selling camera brand since 2003.
Of course.
They put out a list of their favorite point-and-shoot cameras, like their top 10 point-and-shoot cameras, all Canons. Going back the last 30 years, here's all of our favorites or whatever. And there's rumors of them coming out with a new, what's that really popular point-and-shoot that everyone keeps buying? The G4 or something?
I'm not sure.
I think
PowerShot G1 maybe.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, potentially making a new one of those. And I mean, they did that re-release, that limited.
Okay.
G4 whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. So
you have no idea what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Oh, geez.
Canon G4, you say?
Or the whatever it is, the G1. I'm trying to remember exactly what this is. So.
I see a G10.
Sure.
I just have no idea.
Yeah, here it is. The PowerShot G1. No, sorry, G7X Mark III,
Wow.
obviously.
Yeah, none of that.
I'm sorry that I can't remember all the numbers, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, everyone's been like buying the crap out of those things, and so they released just the same camera that's whatever 5 years old, the same specs, but it's like a limited edition. This was earlier this month. It was like early February.
I see.
But like they're noticing the trend towards compact digital cameras. They're seeing the Fujifilm effect and all the Instagram cameras, and this concept and a lot of the conversation. It seems like Canon sees that part of the market, and it seems like they're not going to ignore it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm just happy to see them kind of stepping out of their comfort zone rather than just saying like, here's another expensive RF lens. It's cool to see them doing something different.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about camera, I think about their professional bodies.
Yeah.
And it's like Canon is a professional camera brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think about them as like, oh, this fun little quirky Canon camera.
Yeah.
And I think that they recognize they need to pull in the younger audience and get people into Canon branded cameras so that whenever they do go to buy that professional camera, because they're like now really into photography, they're buying R mount cameras.
Yeah, they're thinking about Canon.
And so it's like maybe they're actually making motion towards trendy cameras. And I'm really interested to see what they do with it. So if this is a direction that they're going, booyah.
I like it. I think it's cool. So we'll see what comes of it.
What size sensor do you think they need to put in this thing?
I feel like 1 inch is too small. But I think that they could potentially get away with APS-C if they're trying to, keep the price point low. Like if it's a quirky, fun camera rather than like a serious tool.
Should this be RF mount or fixed lens?
I kind of think fixed lens might be better.
I think fixed lens would be better too.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? Put a 70-200 on it? I mean, it doesn't seem like it really gives you much.
I want medium format fixed lens.
That would be pretty cool.
They don't even make medium format sensors, but I still want it.
I just think if they go too big on the sensor, the price would get high enough that they would kind of lose some of the market.
I mean, put the Canon R8 sensor in it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever was in the RP. You don't. It doesn't have to be fast. It has a mirror and a mechanical shutter, basically.
That's true.
So they can pick their slowest sensor.
I mean, they were selling the RP is full frame, and they were selling it for $1,000. So maybe I'll get that sensor pretty cheap.
Be pretty good. I think that would be perfect for something like this.
I think so too.
So, all right, we gotta get moving down this list. Sigma's making an 85mm 1.2 DG art lens.
I think they have a 1.4 maybe.
Yeah, and there's 1.2s out there. This isn't like, oh my gosh, but
Sigma's making one now too.
And it would work in your camera. It's a pretty big deal.
That's true.
They came out with the new Sigma releases. There's so many lenses at this show, and like we'll probably talk about more of them, some of these in detail. But they came out with a 15mm 1.4 DC Contemporary, which is an APS-C lens.
Right.
And if I didn't already own the 16 1.4 XF lens,
you'd be looking at that.
I'd be looking at this one. I think that.
What do you think's better about it?
It's smaller. It's as good, if not better, optically. It's a smidge wider. And mostly it's smaller.
Yeah. I mean, smaller is a pretty good advantage because that 16 is not a small lens.
Sigma makes a 1.4 contemporary 16mm lens, and it is substantially larger than this 15mm.
Interesting.
The size of this is a big advantage, and unlike their other 16-30-56 contemporaries, this one has an aperture ring.
Oh, that is a plus.
So if I was trying to pick between the 12-year-old Fuji lens or this lens, I would honestly probably pick the Sigma.
Yeah.
Just because it's more modern. It has pretty much the same features. It drops the clutch, even though the clutch is a really fun feature, and it has an aperture ring.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So I was pretty excited about it. I've kind of stopped shooting so much on my 16. I used to always reach for it, and now I just go for my 23 instead. I didn't expect to almost completely stop using my 16mm whenever I got my 23.
There was a time when that was your favorite lens.
It's glued to my camera. I still love that lens. It has just that certain je ne sais quoi. Anyway, Sigma also released a 35mm 1.4 DG2 art lens.
And that one's full frame.
Which is full frame. And that one's for Sony and for L mount. And the E mount version for Sony comparatively is pretty much as good as the G Master 35mm 1.4 they came out with last year. Or it's as good in most situations, and it's cheaper.
I think it's smaller and lighter than the original 35 1.4.
That too. So it's like if you already have the G Master 2 35mm Sony lens, there's not a reason to get the Sigma because the Sigma's not better. But if you don't have a 35mm lens and you're in the Sony ecosystem and you don't need to shoot more than 15 frames per second and you need a super fast 35mm, which is a lot of caveats, the Sigma seems like a better buy.
Yeah, and I think kind of similar to the other lens, I think it's pretty small too.
Yeah,
which
it
is,
is.
Even compared to
the previous,
like not I'm not just saying that it's like small compared to the Mark 1. I mean, like I think compared to like the Sony or compared to the Panasonic lens, I think it's smaller than those.
Yeah, I think the Sony 35 G Master, the newest one, is very similar in size. I think it's like a little lighter, but this one is the Sigma now competes extremely close to that G Master, whereas the previous Sigma was quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, yeah. And on the L mount side, Panasonic doesn't make a 35 1.4. They do make a 35 1.8, and that the Sigma's more expensive than that, which you might expect because the aperture's wider. But the Sigma has like at least on B&H right now, it's listed at like 1060. And that Panasonic 35 1.8 is like 700. So
yeah,
it's a price premium, but I think it probably is a really good lens
for sure. So there is a Sigma 35mm 1.2 DG2 art lens for E-mount as well. That's the older version. This is a 1.4. So now there's like even more 35mm lenses.
Yeah.
When do you think you would need to make the jump from 1.4 to 1.2 at 35mm?
I mean, I really think that it's less about the aperture and more that I assume the 1.2 is better optically. I guess, who knows? Maybe it's not. But, because lenses usually soften up at that widest aperture. And so I would think that maybe a 1.2 lens is better at 1.4 than a 1.4 lens is. But I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, or maybe a little bit. I mean, we're talking a third to a half a stop more light. So that's, I don't know, 640 versus 800.
But there are a lot of you frequently see this where there are 1.2 versions of lenses and 1.4 versions. And I don't think it's always just the aperture. I feel like that, there's other differences in the construction.
I mean, it's a pretty substantial drop, right? I mean, 2.8 to 1.8 is a full stop. But then you're going down. It's not a full stop from 1.8 to 1.4, but I think it might be a full stop from 1.2 to 1.8. So maybe it's a matter of it's a full stop from 1.2 to 1.8.
I see.
So maybe it's a matter of just getting that full stop down, and then
could be.
For some lenses optically, it's really hard to get to sub 1.4. But you're right. Like most 85mm lenses, here's a 1.2, 1.4, 1.8.
Yeah.
And let's just keep going.
Yep.
And at 35 mil though, the bokeh is going to be of no consequence.
Well, and I mean, there's just so many situations where you don't really want to shoot at the widest aperture you can. Like I notice this a lot when I see people shooting photos of like a group of people. I'm like, you need to like stop down a little bit to get everybody in focus. Because there's like, I'm just going to open it up as wide as it can go. And it's like, cool. But now like you took a picture of like 3 people and one of them is in focus.
I did that by accident. We did over Christmas, my father-in-law and his wife and my wife went to a Christmas festival thing. And I got some really cool pictures of like the part of the family, but I just kind of like was shooting aperture priority. I wasn't really paying. I just like shooting like f2.8 or something. And I have like a picture of me and my father-in-law that's a really nice picture, and one of us is slightly out of focus.
Yep.
And it's not enough that like anyone really would care, but I see it, and I'm like, why am I not shooting at like f4 or 5.6?
Especially if you're like outside or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You notice this so much more on full frame too, because of the way like the depth of field's lower, and like if I shoot with my 85 1.8 on full frame, I can't shoot group, like if it's one person fine, but I can't shoot a group of people at 1.8. Like I'm better off being at like 4, maybe even 5.6, and like it's just otherwise you just can't get them all in focus.
Right. I think for the like looking at the Sigma DG2 f1.4 versus the 1.2, it's a half a pound difference, or like 200 grams or 300 grams. I feel like I would trade that for. I would take the weight savings every time.
For sure. Totally agree. And
So
I'm sure it's cheaper too.
yeah, it is maybe like $500 cheaper or something.
Yeah.
So
$500 and half a pound. Yes.
yeah, pretty good option. I think that's a nice go-to lens now for Sony and for L mount.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Sigma also announced their autofocus Cine 28-105 T3 full frame lens.
I think this may have been I think we knew this was coming.
Yeah, we did, and I think they hadn't
didn't know
announced
what the price.
We hadn't announced the price
Or the release date, maybe.
or the release date. So it's been kind of long time coming, but this thing is now going to be. Let's see,
It's $3,400, and it comes out
Yep.
on April 16th.
That is all accurate. This I mean, seems like a pretty good lens,
It's
Daniel.
a pretty cool lens. It's got the gearing on it. It's T3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it seems great. I have thought about getting a 28-105. I have the 24-70 and the 70-200, and I find myself a lot of times at events not wanting to use the 24-70 because sure, it's nice for like the occasional wide shot, but the 70 I feel like just doesn't go in far enough to be useful for telephoto. And it just I almost feel like I would rather have the 70-200 and accept that I'm not going to be able to get wide shots in exchange for getting a telephoto. But I kind of feel like something like a 28-105 would probably give me enough telephoto to be, good for those types of shots, but then still be able to get the wide stuff. I don't know.
I get stuck on the options around this. Like if I'm looking at, these 28-105s, this is obviously built off the 28-105 f2.8.
Yeah, which is about $1,500.
Right, which is the photo version of this lens.
Mm-hmm.
Do I take a 28-105 f2.8 or a 24-105 f4?
Yeah.
And sacrifice that stop to get the extra 4 millimeters on the wide end.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, having owned a 18-55 and a 16-55, that jump from the full frame equivalent of 24 to the full frame 28 is substantial.
That's quite a bit.
And if you know you need the wide, ooh boy, it's almost worth it to trade the stop of light for stuff that we shoot with a lot of low light.
That's where it gets a little
Taking the extra stop, you kind of want it. So the 28-105 at 2.8 is probably worth it, even though you lose a little bit of the wide end if you are in any sort of low light shooting situation. But I don't know if it's worth it over something like the 35-150 to f2 to f2.8.
Yeah, if you can get a lens that you're happy with on that, because I feel like there's no like
True.
trustworthy brand for that on
It's
L mount.
Right. You'd have to get the Samyang.
Yeah,
And
which I'm just not super excited about. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that.
I thought about it. I looked at that lens and it seemed really hit or miss what people thought about it.
I mean, I met a guy who was shooting an event at a pickleball course, and he had said that he had shot the Tamron and he was shooting on the Samyang when I was talking to him. And the Tamron has that like defocus whenever you zoom situation, and the Samyang didn't. And otherwise, it seemed like they're mostly the same optical formula.
Interesting.
So after that conversation, I'm a little less turned off at the Samyang option, but it does feel like you're buying kind of the off-brand a little bit, which I mean, maybe it's just a matter of inconsistency in quality. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, and if you have other good lenses, maybe it's okay.
Like I've never owned a Samyang. I wouldn't shy away from buying a Rokinon. Like there's a 12 millimeter f2.8 Rokinon that's pretty widely liked as an astrophotography lens. So, I mean, I don't know.
This the Samyang 35-150. They obviously do make that for L mount. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I should.
But it's like what, $800, $1,500, something like that.
It's closer to the latter. Let's see. It's $1,000.
Yeah, it's not like just go try it price, but it's an interesting concept.
Yeah,
but like you already have the two standard zooms, so it's like, do you need another thing that covers that focal range?
Yeah, maybe not.
Would you just stop using those other lenses?
Yeah,
and then be really sad about it.
Yeah,
the other lenses are just better. They're going to be better optically.
Yeah, I mean, I only have one other standard zoom like that.
Yeah,
I have an 18-40, but that's very much a different lens.
Sure. Anyways, the Cine version of the 28-105 T3. I think this is a really, really cool lens, and
Yeah,
I
I
wish
think
I
so,
had.
too.
I wish I had a reason to own it.
Yeah. If we ever live that Pixis life, that would probably be a pretty interesting lens.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that thing would just live on that camera.
Yep.
That's it. We're gonna get the Pixis and just that, and it'll be $8,000 per camera.
This is, people may remember that Sigma also has a 28-45 lens, and they have a cine version of that lens too. So this kind of goes along with that.
Right, and that one's 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or T2, I guess, probably T2.1, something like that. Okay, Daniel, this next thing, Megadap has made a Leica M to Canon RF autofocus adapter.
And my first question for this is, I wonder if Canon is okay with that.
I mean, this is the kind of thing where Canon's probably like, we don't even care now.
Yeah, as long as they don't make like insert popular lens mount here to RF, it's probably fine.
So this thing is, it is, quote unquote, designed to integrate fully with Canon's dual pixel AF technology, including eye and subject detection. And what this thing does is, because all M lenses are manual focus, it has a motor-driven helicoid inside of the adapter. And so you mount the M mount lens to the adapter, and the adapter physically turns the lens.
Whoa. That's weird.
And then it connects to the camera, and like the camera tells it what to do, and then the adapter moves the lens, which maybe that's how they're getting around it from a patent standpoint.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know how that's written, but they're not just like adapting, making a lens for their mount or whatever, adapting to it. They're kind of
that's interesting.
Wild. Apparently they've done this before for other mounts. It's just now you can stick it on a Canon camera. But this is super interesting because you could get like some Leica, like you get like a APO, like Summicron or something like that, or you could get like a Tybach
and put that on your Canon RF camera.
There's a lot of really fun and really, really good M mount lenses. And being able to slap those puppies on your, like, I don't know, M50
seems crazy.
Seems amazing. I love this. This is so much fun. Also, do you think
it's scheduled for release in May 2026? Pricing has not yet been announced.
I think that I wish I had a camera that took M mount lenses.
I bet you do.
I'm gonna buy an M mount Leica film camera, Daniel. It's just gonna happen.
Yep. You gonna get that before or after a medium format camera?
I don't know. I want to find an old Leica film camera for like $500.
That'd be cool.
We have to go back to Japan.
It's the only way.
Do you think that there's the equivalent in Germany?
I was just wondering that.
Like, if we went to Germany, are there German camera stores that just sell cheap light cameras?
You would think that there would be German camera stores, but as to whether they're cheap, I have no idea. Something to look into.
Yeah. Anyways, this Megadap adapter is crazy.
I respect it. I think it's cool that they're doing something so weird.
I think it's super wild. I mean, if I was I know somebody who shoots Canon RF for like some of their stuff, like their big if they're going on like a safari or something, Canon RF. But if they're gonna go shoot street or whatever, Leica. And so like if you got the M mount stuff already,
yeah, might as well
get this bad boy. I mean, it's gonna be like $250 or something.
I don't know. It sounds pretty complicated. And I mean, the people that are using M mount lenses are gonna have deep pockets. I'm gonna bet this is like $700.
No, I think it's like $250. I think they quoted the price.
Pricing has not been announced.
Oh, well, I'm gonna quote the price at $250. Whether or not that's accurate,
all right,
who knows? But that's how much
you may be getting some angry customer phone calls.
I'm gonna pay for it. So
okay.
I don't have any need for it. I have no M mount lenses. I have no
yeah, literally, yeah. The Venn diagram of you in this adapter is like 0.
Yep.
But you're interested anyway.
All right. So OM System, everyone's favorite camera company, known for their innovation and they don't reuse any camera models. They don't They don't just like churn out copy
Of
paste
course.
cameras. Totally innovative 100% of the time. Has come out with a new, well, technically rebrand. Okay, they rebrand a lot. Photo pocket system.
What does that mean? What is a photo pocket?
You know the nipple bottle vest that you have for running, Daniel, that you bought as because it was like a Halloween costume.
Yep, I sure do. Yep,
It's
a
like-
camelback vest with those water bottles like on the chest straps.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like that,
But for photo.
but for camera gear.
Huh.
I think the concept here is that you can have it on where your straps would go for your bag without having to like it be a part of your bag. Or you could then attach it to your bag. So if you have like a backpack, you could like put it on the straps of your bag, and then you have more
I
like
just
easy
don't-
to
I
access
just don't know
photo
about
stuff.
this.
You can put your capture clip on it. You can stuff a lens in a pocket, and maybe it makes your life easier. Something like this for like a backpacking backpack could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be nice on a backpacking backpack.
I mean, it's OM Systems, man. This is like take your camera outside, camera company. It makes sense on you're going out into the wilderness type situation.
It probably makes sense for as a brand collaboration for them specifically because of how they position themselves. But they don't get credit for making this. Like, I mean, it doesn't like what did they do? You know, like, it seems like they just took this company's product and made it. I don't know. Is this like a custom thing?
I mean, it's a brand collaboration.
Mm-hmm. It's $63.
Yep.
Reasonable.
It has a 5-pocket layout organized for outdoor shooting workflows.
I do like that they in their branding they have kind of shown which of their lenses would fit in which pocket.
That's pretty cool.
That is kind of convenient. Like if you're thinking about buying this, you could say like, oh, I have this lens and that lens. Like you can kind of imagine like how you would use it. So it's kind of neat. And their lenses are so small. It's like this would never work with full frame.
Yep.
Like imagine having a 24-70 like strapped to your chest.
This
It's terrible.
would definitely work with Fuji though. I honestly, when I saw this, I was like, lol. But
You've already ordered one.
I have like my Bravetti backpack that I just need to throw into like a dumpster and just do like an effigy or something. This would go great on that. I could like put that on the straps,
Mhm.
you know, and pretty
That's
good.
true.
There's certain situations where wearing a backpack, but having like there's stuff in it for the photo things, but having easy access to
Mhm.
really like camping, backpacking. Maybe it's a camelback and you're like going on a hike. This could actually be pretty handy.
Yeah, being able to carry like 1 or 2 lenses easily accessible.
Yeah.
And then if you need a lot of gear, then okay, you stop and take the backpack off.
Spare lens, camera with a lens on it.
Mhm.
This is kind of perfect for that.
Yeah.
If you're doing some sort of like hiking endeavor. And I mean, I just think of like South Rim at Big Bend.
Yeah.
Like brought the camelback, brought a camera with me, kind of had it on a strap, put the extra lens in like something to keep it safe and stuff it in the back of the camelback.
Yeah.
This would be a better solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for them to have made this with their outdoorsy image. So
Yep. Now they just need to make a new camera.
yeah, that's it.
Okay. Daniel, have you seen this Ninja RAW monitor?
I saw it and I was really confused because I couldn't figure out really what it like what's new about this. The main thing I saw was like camera control, but what is the deal with this?
You're
thing?
like, why not just use a Ninja 5?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can power it normally, but also do the NPF thing, but you don't have to. They got rid of the 2.5-inch SSD and like slide those things in favor of CF Express Type B.
I think that's probably an improvement.
It is a huge improvement, and also now you're gonna love it because it's CF Express Type B. It's 1,500 nits instead of 500 nits.
That's also a big improvement for outdoor
Huge
use.
improvement, and it's like you can plug in USB-C to your camera and do camera control.
Okay.
And if you don't want to pay for the CF Express B cards, you can plug in a USB-C drive and just record to the drive.
I would have loved to have had those features on the Ninja. So
They're all great features.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing on this that they're selling it on, in addition to like you can do all the normal Ninja stuff like record ProRes RAW and H.265 and all that stuff. It does all those things,
Okay.
but you can control your camera with it.
Yeah, so you could use this. It makes it sound like it's probably a better on-camera monitor than the existing Ninja.
Absolutely.
It's brighter, and you can do the camera control.
It's brighter, and you can change your f-stop, your ISO, or whatever. The list of cameras that this thing supports, frustratingly, includes only mirrorless cameras.
So, meaning you can't use it with a cinema camera? Like, is that the distinction you're drawing here?
That is the distinction I'm drawing. You're not putting this on a C80, Pixis 12K. Maybe you probably would put it on a ZR. It'd probably be okay on that, but maybe whatever.
It's a little surprising.
Like a red. You're not putting on any of those things. And to me, this is exactly what I would want for a Pixis 12K.
Yeah.
Because I would want the camera control, and I want to be able to shoot a compressed codecs.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this, being able to shoot ProRes RAW on this, or H.265, and then Blackmagic RAW internal to the Pixis, and be able to do all the camera control stuff to change all my settings. Like this would be the kind of the perfect thing to complete that package, but it is not a supported camera.
Yeah, that is frustrating.
So, bummer.
I looked, and it's about the same weight as the Ninja 5, which is a little disappointing because I feel like the Ninja 5 is pretty heavy.
I looked it up, and I thought this was 400 grams heavier, but I don't think the weight I looked up for the Ninja included the weight of the drive.
The total weight of this one is 400 grams.
Oh.
So that might have been an AI failure.
No, I didn't look it up with the AI. I looked them up on like B&H, and I did the math myself.
The weight of this one's 400, and the weight of the Ninja 5 is about 320 to 360, but that's without a battery and an SSD.
Oh, not 300 more. This is 400, and the other one was less.
Yeah. So not really saving anything there. The CF Express card is probably going to weigh less than an SSD, but like I was hoping that this might be lighter because that's one thing that's a detractor for using the Ninja as a camera monitor.
It is my biggest complaint. No, it's one of my biggest complaints. The move away from the drives is huge.
Yeah.
Powering the Ninja is annoying because I'm powering a V mount, which is actually a way better solution. But the weight, it's so heavy.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
I'm looking for the list of compatible cameras, and I'm having trouble finding it. I had it pulled up yesterday, but I should have written it down. So yeah, that's the Ninja RAW. Lots of great improvements. With RAW moving internal for a lot of these cameras, maybe makes less sense. I wish it worked for more cinema cameras.
I mean, having it use a 1500 nit screen is really nice. Like it makes it to where it is actually like a pretty good on-camera monitor.
For sure. Silly list. It's not enough. Like I don't know if I'm ever going to upgrade from my Ninja 5. Like,
I mean, I would think that
if it was,
I would think eventually something will move forward to where you'd have to, but yeah, I mean it.
Yeah, if it was like half the weight or that sort of thing, maybe I could see it, but like it's just like eventually, we go to more cinema camera. We're gonna have a camera that shoots RAW internal, or most I don't know. It's RAW internal is becoming more of a thing. So like the external RAW is not really a good reason. Unlimited recording is not really a reason anymore. There's lighter monitors. You're looking for something that's just a monitor. Like the reason for a Ninja is getting more and more kind of specific to certain workflows.
I agree.
And so I don't know. I found the list though. And it's things like the GFX 100, the Deuce, XH2S, Z6, Z6 III. ZR is not on this list.
But I wonder what that compatibility would be. Like, is it the camera control maybe that doesn't work? Or
this is camera control compatibility.
Okay.
Like you can use it with the other stuff. Like you could use it with a Pixis and connect the into it with HDMI to do the recording.
But you're losing the camera control.
It's the camera control, and there are no like quote unquote cinema cameras on this list, other than like if you want to consider the FX3 and the FX30, FX2. Those are on this list, but those are the only things with a more than 1/4 20 threaded hole on it.
Yeah, huh? That's
and the Z cam, other than the Z cam, I guess. To be fair,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's probably not an intentional limitation on Adamus's part. It's probably that Blackmagic doesn't want to give them their camera control stuff or whatever. But I don't know.
A lot of the Canon ones support touch to focus.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that on some other monitors too, because there are other monitors that support this.
Mm-hmm. The
and I think
XH2S
I've seen
supports the touch to focus.
That's cool.
I mean, this would be pretty good on XH2S.
If all you want is the camera control, if you don't want the other aspects, the Atomos Shinobi 2 actually gives you most of those same capabilities. I think that one also has camera control. I'm looking to see how bright that one gets.
I wonder if it's lighter.
I bet it is. Let's look that up real quick. It might be interesting. Let's see here. This makes for great
radio.
Great radio. Yeah. So the Shinobi 2 does go to 1500 nits, and I really thought that it had camera control too. Yeah, it does actually.
Pretty interesting.
It can be powered over USB-C PD. I don't know. That one, if you have a camera that can shoot RAW to where you don't care about that as much, then that could be kind of an interesting alternative.
Maybe. Anyway,
you don't sound convinced. It's a little bit lighter. It's 210 grams.
I don't know. I'm ready to move on. I think the Ninja Raw is a great upgrade, but I wish that it was more compatible.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. This next thing, the EZ35 V2. I was looking at what this was because I had kind of forgotten for a second, and I thought that I had written down on this list this LiGAR digital camera, which is like a camera for your camera, but that's like a whole different thing that we're going to talk about later. This thing is for scanning your film.
Oh, that sounds right up your alley.
Yeah. So this is a V2 version of this product. It's better than the first version in that it's like not like an obviously 3D printed product.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a more polished product. The light uniformity went from 81% to 99%.
Whoa.
The light inside of it is supposed to be better than CR95, and it's like $240. And they have a bunch of lenses that it's compatible with.
So how does it work? You get this thing and you like attach it to a lens and you take photos of your film? Is that how it
That's
scans?
exactly right. Okay. So if you're wanting to scan film, I've always felt like this was the most ridiculous part of shooting film is where you go out, you take a picture on film, then you develop the film, and then you take a picture of the picture.
Yeah.
In order to then digitize it.
Yeah. It's kind of meta.
I find the whole thing to be absurd. But if you want high DPI scans of your film, unfortunately, the best way to do that is to take a picture of it because getting a really good photo scanner is super expensive, and those are becoming less and less available versus going out and finding like, I don't know, a DSLR that can shoot 40 megapixels or something, or buy like a freaking D850, or maybe you just have a fancy pantsy regular camera.
I wondered if a GFX 50 would be a good camera for that, but it looks like, at least what they say on here is full frame. Like they don't mention medium format, so I wonder if medium format works or doesn't work.
They have a whole compatibility list on their website. And that tells you if you have this camera, these are the lenses that we recommend. But essentially, like macro, when you're shooting at minimum, if you have a 1:1 macro at minimum focus, then it's literally 1:1 for the image. So if you have a full frame camera and you're shooting 35 millimeter film on a 1:1 macro, that is pixel for pixel, inch for inch, the size of the film strip that you're shooting is the size of your sensor.
Okay.
So like that's the most perfect version of this is full frame, 1:1 macro.
I see.
But they have some considerations for if you are not doing that, then like depending upon where you focus, like it's just going to change the focus plane for other lenses. And so they have a list of like, if you have this camera, here are the options, and there's some stuff that work for like APS-C or full frame, even micro four thirds.
They've got Fujifilm GFX on here, and the budget option. But they have for all these, they have a top choice and a budget. The budget is a Mamiya 645 120 millimeter f4 macro, which you can buy on KEH in excellent condition for $437.
Perfect.
What you do is you get that used GFX 50.
Perfect.
You get this lens, you're set.
I mean, that sounds great. Like that could be my scanning solution and my fun little medium format camera solution. Wonderful. So basically, it's exactly what you said, though. You have a lens. This screws onto the front of the lens, and you slide your film in it, and they turn on the light, and you take the pictures, and you just slide it through and take pictures of all of your pictures, and it's maybe easier than scanning it, and it's coming in as raw, and you can do all of the processing with whatever. I mean, there's a number of good plugins for Lightroom for developing film, and so like you could take it into Silverfast, or you could do one of like Darkroom or whatever. What's the negative conversion? Whatever. There's a number of like Lightroom Classic plugins that are perfect for this.
Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a really neat product, and it's cool that they I guess sold enough of them that they could come out with a V2, make it quite a bit better, and it's like $240.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, definitely. Dark table maybe. Anyways,
table.
Okay. 2 more things. Case came out with a 150 millimeter f5.6 full frame reflex lens, or announced it.
We've talked about Case in the past.
Yeah, we've talked about their 200 millimeter, I think it's APS-C, maybe not, reflex lens, which is fun. It's like a telescope where it bounces the light, and it's like half the size, and like no one makes reflex lenses anymore, and they give you like that really weird donut bokeh. And they're small and compact, so you can get a really long distance and a really short lens, and they're like optically compromised, and they're just super weird, and I love it, and it's cool to see another reflex lens existing.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing more to talk about there. Okay, one more. Tamron announced a 35 to 100 f2.8 lens.
I thought that was and I think this is full frame, right?
Full frame.
I thought that was an interesting
E and Z mount, I think.
Interesting focal length.
It is an interesting focal length because they have the 35 to 150 f2 to f2.8. And now they have a 35 to 100.
Yeah, I mean maybe the optical quality is better. It's a pretty small lens.
Doesn't Tamron does not make a 24 to 105?
I don't think so.
I just don't. I mean, it's a 2.8, I guess. I was going to say, I don't know why you wouldn't pick a 24 to 105 over this. It's kind of that same conversation. Yeah. I guess Sigma makes the 28 to 105 f2.8. That's $200 more, or is it $800, $700 more?
Yeah, it's quite a bit more because the Sigma one's like $1,500 or $1,600, and this is $900.
So maybe that's the main thing. This is only smaller and less expensive.
It's 1 pound and 1.2 pounds. So
that's not bad.
It's quite a bit lighter, especially for a full frame lens. That's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting option. I think I'd be more interested in 35 to 150.
It is a different range than a 24 to 70, and it seems like it's smaller and lighter than your standard 24 to 70 2.8. Yeah,
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
And I guess like Nikon has that 28 to 70. It's like small and light version of their 2.8. This seems like a pretty good complement or competitor to that. It's a different range, but it's still like, okay, what if we made it slightly smaller?
If you're comparing this to the 35 to 150, that lens is 6.2 inches long compared to 4.7 for this one, so it's quite a bit longer.
That one feels more like a telephoto.
That one's also 2.6 pounds versus this 1.2. So to me, it kind of reminds me of Panasonic has a 24 to 70, just like everybody else does, and then they came out that 24 to 60, which you lose a little bit on the end, but it was a lot smaller and lighter. So to me, made me think like that's a really good travel lens. This kind of maybe feels similar, where if you don't care about weight and size, the 35 to 150 probably makes more sense, but I could see, if you're going on a trip or something, 35 to 100 might be nicer to have in your bag.
This is almost the same size as the 17 to 70. Almost exactly the same size.
I noticed that too.
It in a way feels like the full frame equivalent of that lens, though the 17 to 70 is like 26 to 105 full frame equivalent. So you get a little more range, but you are at the full frame equivalent of f4.
Yeah.
This is a little faster, but it does feel like a very similar comparison.
It sure does.
It's kind of a cool little lens.
I kind of wish Tamron made L-mount lenses.
I kind of wish Tamron made primes.
Yeah.
Can't have everything that we want, huh?
I guess not.
They said that they would make primes if people wanted them. So I'm just putting that want
you're
into the
you're
world.
saying you want them.
Yep. I owned the EF 85 1.8, and it was like the only stabilized 85mm lens prime that I could find at the time.
You kind of regret selling that lens, don't you?
I shot that on my Fuji camera with an adapter, and that lens just really had something. It was like anything I shot with that lens looked absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Loved it so much. I owned the Viltrox 85mm XF mount lens. It just wasn't the same. Like it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been able to. The Viltrox 75mm 1.2 does have quite a bit of magic to it, and it's different. Still not quite the same as that Tamron 85 1.8. And I feel like Tamron should just bring the magic back.
Yeah.
They need to make some primes, but what they do is they make the prime, then they take the magic, they put it in the prime.
With ideas like that, I don't know why they haven't hired you already. I mean, if they could just do that.
Look, I'm what they call an innovator. Yep.
All right.
Do we even have time to get into the real topic?
We do not. I think this has become the real topic. But let me give
sorry.
you, I don't know if you've noticed this, but let me give you two pieces of news that you might not have picked up from around CP. So one, I'm trying to decide which of these to start with. First one, both of these are from Cine D. They interviewed people, and there's always interesting things from that. So one is that they interviewed somebody from Panasonic. It might have been, I don't know if it was like the head of the camera division. I can't remember who it was. We'll put the link in the notes. But they basically asked, what does Panasonic think? What are they doing? And there were a couple of interesting takeaways from it. One was one was, do they still care about Micro Four Thirds? It sounds like they do. I think they feel like they've got a good strategy of, providing that and full frame, and kind of giving something for everybody. So probably, we probably can look forward to more Micro Four Thirds stuff.
Which means we're not going to get, my prediction was they are TikToking it and they're doing Micro Four Thirds 1 year and full frame the next year, which means no full frame cameras or lenses this year. And so it's not until 2027 S1H Mark II.
They asked about the S1H Mark II, and
we don't talk about future
there's no timeline, but they know that people want it, and it sounds like it's coming at some point, but they don't. But there's no timeline of when.
All right, 2027 it is.
Yeah, and then the third thing was
wait, just real quick. Sorry to keep interrupting. Did they bring up the Camera Gear podcast and Camera of the Year and how we've been disappointedly predicting and hoping for an S1H Mark II literally since the show started? Did they bring that up at all?
They didn't bring that up, but they did mention the Cine D Camera of the Year, which was the S1 Mark II, and apparently the Panasonic guys were real excited about that. So, I mean, probably almost as excited as they were whenever we talked about it on this show.
So, I can't even imagine how it would have gone if instead of asking about the Cine D Camera of the Year, they instead asked about the Camera Gear podcast. Because I mean, it's like winning some video, whatever, film festival award versus winning the Oscar.
Yeah. Which one's which? In that
I think you know.
Yeah.
I think you know, Daniel.
The third thing they said was the S9. A lot of people want that camera to have an EVF. They again didn't say that they were doing it, but they seem aware that people want that. And I don't know. I'm curious to see if we'll get an S9 too at some point and what that would be.
I want it wouldn't be a G9. They already made a G9. I want the S9 in Micro Four Thirds.
That would be interesting. Same kind of form factor, obviously smaller.
Just bring I want a GFX 95 or something. Just bring back that line.
A GFX.
Not a GFX. You know what I mean. I owned a GX7. You owned a G85. And then they made it, but the G9 is something totally different.
Yeah.
But that GX series line.
You want something like that.
Just rangefinder style, super small. Just do it.
I do miss.
Just do it.
I do miss how small those Micro Four Thirds lenses were.
So small, man.
Yeah. Super fun to play with. Okay, my last news thing is that they also interviewed Sigma recently at the show, I think, and apparently development on the Foveon sensor is still continuing.
Oh, dear Lord.
It's still out there.
It's happening, man.
Yeah.
Look, I love what Sigma's doing. Like, all their lenses, they're innovating all over the place. They bought a freaking rice field. Like, I'm in.
Yeah. Just ship it.
Like, the BF was wild.
What if there's a BF2 and it has a Foveon sensor?
Do it. Heck yeah. I'm sure. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Sigma to just keep Sigmaing all over the place.
I hope they do some interesting stuff this year.
If that means that they finally release the Foveon camera, I'm ready for it.
We'll see. That's it for the show today. Thanks for joining us, and if you liked it, tell a friend so they can check it out too. You can find out more about the show at www.cameragearpodcast.com, and you can find us on Twitter at CameraGearPod. We'll be back with more next week.